We're here. Everyone relaxed. Having a wonderful time. TFTV. This is the chillcast as we try and work out what's going on. Sorry, I was completely distracted looking at the logs trying to work out why MANDEM weren't scrubbing, but it's all good. We're here. I'm eepily. I'm joined with Dave. We have ondkaja here as well. Dave, what's going on in your life?
Not too much. Looking forward to the game. Had a lot of casting the last few weeks, and it's been good fun. Had the LAN the weekend. That was good fun. You managed to dodge casting with me there, eepily, but tonight you're stuck with me, I'm afraid.
It's all good, you know. I mean, I was looking forward to it, and then LAN delays happen. You know, LAN delays.
Okay, excuses.
Yeah, I think it should be. I don't know. So going into this, I was kind of thinking, you know, as I was just saying to you a minute ago, you know, backyard bullies, nerd rage, whatever you want to kind of call them, were looking, I don't know, like they should really be rolling it. But you were saying you might have a little bit more faith in the MANDEM boys today.
Yeah, I saw MANDEM play. I casted them last week against the Ascent team. I guess they're now called Witness. They've changed their name again. Very, very confusing.
Yeah, that won't be confusing at all.
Yeah. But essentially the Pappy team. And, you know, the Pappy team did win 6-0, but it wasn't a complete roll. There were certainly opportunities for MANDEM. They had some good moments. And, yeah, as I say, it wasn't super close, but given, you know, how comfortable that team was, you know, winning yesterday against tonight's opponents, backyard bullies, we could be in for maybe a closer game than it looks on paper.
Yeah, it's obviously, you know, if you live under a rock, maps will be Snakewater and Granary, so kind of, well, at least Snake is a very, very kind of like set in stone. People have played like 100 million times, you know. I think that should firmly favor the side of the backyard bullies. But Granary is like slightly less so. Like it's an old map, but it's not been super regular in terms of the last how many seasons rotations. And you were bigging up the MANDEM soldiers coordination a minute ago. Which, I mean, if there's a map to be coordinated on with your soldiers, it's Granary. Because literally, like, coordinated soldier bombs can almost guarantee you frags every mid on Granary in a way which is not anywhere near as kind of clear cut on other maps, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because obviously we've had Rons come into this MANDEM team. They're playing with Lardox is their mainstay. They were previously playing with Haunts. The last few seasons they'd been around together, and that was one of the strengths of the team when they played Div 1 and such, that they had this kind of well-coordinated soldier combo. Rons has come in. I played his first game last week, and yeah, as I say, I was very, very impressed that they had kind of an immediate synergy between those two gamers who, as far as I know, had very little playing time together. And honestly, comparing to the other side, backyard bullies, they have, you know, Cylinders and Nubby, who is on paper a phenomenal combo. But we saw yesterday, at times they just weren't as in sync as you would expect. You know, two absolute gamers, you know, at the really top level gamers, they weren't quite as in sync as you know you would expect, particularly as they have played together a few weeks now, and they're still not quite there. You know, looking into playoffs, you know, this is a team with serious title ambitions. For them to do it, those two soldiers would need to just, you know, improve their team play together a little bit more.
I guess it's kind of like a weird feeling for backyard bullies as well, because like as much as, like you say, Celentes is like an absolute champion, which he undoubtedly is, he's also kind of like an interim pocket for them. Because obviously, previously this roster's played with Josh, who is a real fundamental part of that roster in terms of his calls and kind of the way he leads the team. Josh being unable to play at least the majority of the season, as far as I'm aware. But kind of, I don't even know if like maybe towards the end of the season they might bring him back in. I know definitely the plan would be that, you know, should they all kind of go to Copenhagen, they would be playing with Josh. So kind of Celentes is very much like a kind of fill-in player. So I don't even know how much. Like, they wouldn't be looking at that same kind of big picture, oh yeah, you know, let's get him like Furby ingrained as part of the team. I guess he's more kind of fulfilling his purpose in that role a bit, but ultimately they know he's not going to be like a permanent fixture. So I guess maybe that's like that could explain a little bit of a kind of lack of synergy. But I mean, regardless, you know, who cares about LAN? We've got like the season to deal with first. And, you know, if they are a little bit uncoordinated, maybe they will find themselves having a harder time than they should.
Possibly. I mean, we are talking about this, this is a serious kind of banana skin kind of fixture. As we talk about on paper, there's a huge gulf in terms of experience between the two teams. I think there's something like 4 debutants on the MANDEM team, with only BB playing 1 Prem season and Ron's playing a couple. And then you look at the Backyard Bullies roster: Molexi, Gazi, Nubby, Sil, Nazboy, and Auto. Only really Auto hasn't played at the top level. All the rest of them, I think, they're all previous Prem champions. So, there is a big difference there. If MANDEM are to get any points tonight, it would be a bit of a shock. But as I say, I've got a little bit more faith in them than perhaps some people have.
Yeah. I can see we do have the old STV. We are in this server. I can see 12 players pretty happy at the minute. If I was to go ahead and start giving some predictions, maybe there's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but I don't see a world at all in which Backyard Bullies don't get all 6 points out of this fixture. Surely.
Yeah, I think it's not, as I say, not a certainty, but it's pretty heavy chances, as you would maybe expect between any two teams. We've seen MANDEM, they got a couple of points early in the season, but they haven't won a game yet, and I don't expect that to change here. But, as I say, I from what I've seen of them, I expect them to at least put up a bit of a fight.
Yeah, and to a degree, if you're one of these kind of lower Prem teams, one of these teams kind of newer to the division, ultimately, like that first Prem season, it isn't really about winning that much. Like, it sounds stupid, it isn't about like, I got, I don't know, like 10 points as opposed to like 7. It doesn't really matter. It's more about that, process of like adapting to the higher skill level to then kind of, keep going with like future seasons. And that's how obviously people can have so much success. So I guess from MANDEM's point of view, they might just be going into this game thinking, well, let's just do whatever we can. Let's try and find as much success as possible. Let's try and use it as a bit of a learning experience as well. At least that's what I would hope, right? Like, if you are a Prem debut and you go into this game being like, oh yeah, we should definitely get points against all of these Prem winners, then I don't know. I feel like you might be expecting a bit much from yourself.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, eepily, but it looks like we are just about ready to go live here.
There we go then. This is gonna be it. Big old game for the day. ETF2L Season 41, Week 4 of Premiership, MANDEM versus Backyard Bullies. Starting off here on Snakewater, later on going into the wonderful Granary Pro. Watching rollout here, both demos pretty much the same. No one taking any early damage, but you see Ron's getting aggressive, really bombing all the way deep towards Auto, getting some nice rockets up, and this is a really good start for the mid. Arcades does get traded out for Auto, so no heals on either side. Player advantage in the hands of the MANDEM, but the health is not looking too great, but they're still combining to get these frags. Just actually Gazi alive, he's towards his side, and that is a fast mid, surely. As he's not going to go for this commit. Nope, that's going to be a 1 mid for MANDEM.
Yeah, to see that the Backyard Bullies, they wanted to get aggressive. They got their scouts across the point much earlier than they were at times yesterday, not showing too much respect to the MANDEM side, but perhaps they should have played it, a bit more cautious, a bit more, give them a bit more respect, because MANDEM were equally matched for them. Absorbed the scout aggression really, really well, and came out on top of it because they got that pick onto Auto so early as well.
So, with everything, with Auto, yes, dying a little bit earlier, building a little bit better, there's a tiny advantage for the Bullies. It's going to end up being about, actually, 20%-ish. Doesn't look like they're going to be in a position to try and push forward off this, though. Definitely, these 20% uber advantage margins, not much to play off, and they will just be letting Arcades get his own now, so nice little stalemate here. As we know and love, neither team's going to be forced into doing anything crazy just yet, but it does seem like MANDEM are the ones being a little bit more aggressive. Turning sticky towards window, Cloudrock's going to jump in, going to get completely denied by these scouts, and Blank and BB both get annihilated as well.
Yeah, big commit, losing 3 gamers now. They're going to be, running back with their tail between their legs, giving almost up completely free, looking for some kind of trap kill, but it's not quite going to happen. That's why a little bit too savvy to fall for that. Nubby's already in quite deep. Does get picked up by Ron. Silentes wants to make something happen as well, but that's a cheeky little shot to him by Ron's as well, just cleaning up these overextenders.
Yeah, good position was taken by Arcades there. Gets back through that doorway. All important to not get forced out. Largox goes in. Gets some good damage towards Auto. Yep. More players are coming in. They actually lose more Alexi now. And they force off this Uber. This is not looking hot whatsoever for the Bullies. Gazzy's on the backlines. He's trying to be a little rat. Trying to be a little annoying on the backlines. Take a 1v1. The Blank's on that cleanup with him as well. This is good looking moves for MANDEM. They have themselves big old Uber advantage. They will deny one scout getting forwards. This will be really their opportunity to try and get second for free. There is Nubby's sniper right now. They will have to be aware of him.
Yeah, I don't think he's revealed just yet. They do have some eyes on him, so they will now perhaps be threatened into popping. But they've got a saw, so not too many angles they have to worry about. Losing Lardox to a trap, but they've actually traded out the kill onto Silentes. Ron's currently on an absolute tear at the moment, just dominating games, finding these picks onto Sil. Found the force earlier as well and be able to escape through all of it. So at the moment he is the man to look out for on the server. But you know, Auto, at least they've been able to back up to last, get this Uber going. They don't have this hold really as comfortable as they would like. They've picked up BB and the other scout actually Blank trying to peek in. Oh, they've committed quite a few gamers here but haven't been able to get the force out of Auto.
No, they committed hard. One scout in, both soldiers, a bat 3-man for Auto, basically playing by the shutter of Spawn. He was like, no, I'm not going to take any damage today. And just losing no other players is great, you know. Bullies, they get control of second. Always nice to have that little bit of a kind of fallback just in case anything does go disastrous, you know. They can always back up towards point, but they also didn't, you know, get any force of their own. So it is still going to be a little bit equal. And that's why Nubby not staying on the old sniper this time. Going to be keeping it cookie cutter. And once again, it's MANDEM getting aggressive towards lower. Stickies are off window if a soldier wants to go. But BB's actually going to try and run all the way behind while a soldier goes over top as well. Oh, they're doing little bits of damage. Ron's kind of had no idea what Auto was. BB doesn't even get off the floor though. And they kind of just feed two there. And surely this is a good opportunity for the Bullies. They can just start walking. Maybe, I don't know, they're not going to be looking to trade. Good opportunity for a sack with at least one scout down. Nubby's all the way behind toward point. Yeah, the easiest force of his life.
Yeah, finds a nice direct onto the medic who wasn't quite where he was. The Uber's actually coming out of the Bullies here. That's why getting really, really deep in towards Arcades is running for his life, but not running into a position where it's not easy for him to be cleaned up. He goes down, so about as nice as you would like for backyard Bullies that kept Auto alive. Kept a bit of an Uber advantage, going to be up to maybe 40% by the time Arcade spawns here. And they continue to move. They picked up Lardox as well. I don't know quite how Nazboy found him, whether he was on the flank and is perhaps blind at what the fuck coming out in chat from Lardox. Not sure what happened to him either.
No. Yeah, see, not quite aware of the old sticky traps maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Now, Bullies, this is, you know, that kind of pick there, getting Arcades at the tail end of an Uber on mid. That's kind of how rounds are won, basically. They've got themselves a fatty 40% advantage. They're already in lobby. You can see they're buffing up. This is like just absolute textbook move fast kind of gameplay. They're going all the way through left. We do see Naspo jumping all the way to left hand side. He's going to be catching Arcades out entirely. Gets the damage toward Blank as well. Garden's going down almost immediately. Now they can take a second, play a little bit slower, keep themselves healed up because the long fight goes firmly in their favor. Huge air shot toward Lardox as well. This is surely going to be a round right now. Yep, BB's gone down just on Fancy himself, and he's not going to be enough right now. That is Bullies getting their first round.
Yeah, as soon as Nazboy got in towards the spawn, he has it locked down completely. You know, Arcades and Blank, they both tried to dodge, but they both tried to run back into spawn and, you know, desperately hope a Banny Bind would save them, but it wasn't to be. Nazboy had completely cut them off. They could have perhaps kited across the point, but, you know, with them getting a med and an NG frag that early on, it was very, very easy for them to convert.
Well, second mid now, 6.5 minutes allotted in the game. Plenty of time to be working with. Aggressive soldier once again in the form of Rons. Lardox as well, taking all this vision towards his left-hand side. And you can see the Bullies, they're really getting bullied themselves into this corner. They're doing slightly better in terms of the cleanup, but they will be losing Auto. This time, it's going to be much, much harder to get onto Arcades. We do see one rocket from Nubby. Nice little surf. The second does a little bit of damage, and Nasboy's on the follow-up. He's trying to get all the way in, but Arcades way too far out. Your boy knows his positioning. He's going to be getting himself firm old advantage here. Once again, second mid in a row to MANDEM.
Yeah, Arcade's very slippery, good movement, good position as well. Just doing a great job there, you know, knowing that they'd cleaned up Auto so fast, it was just the case he was the one who had to survive. His team provided a decent buffer, but it was a lot of it just down to his pure mechanics that he escaped there where a lesser medic wouldn't have. So, you know, now they do have 100% to try and push this last.
Yeah, should be a good old position. Uber's getting used all the way towards lower. Bit of a jump. Gun's going to be going down. This is going to make things a little bit easier. No real frags just yet. Uber is going to be fading right now. Ron's actually getting direct hittable things. That is pretty crushing. Nubby's out on the spawn as well. And yeah, they're going to be crushing these players towards this right-hand side. Arcades is leaving. He's like, I don't care about the rest of my team. I'm not dying right now. And he's going to be the only one who doesn't. Morlax, he's still on the chase as well, all the way towards Sword. There's going to be no spawners at all. That is such a hugely late death. 18 seconds on the respawn for Arcades. No chance at all of getting forwards. This is going to be like all the advantage the Bullies could ever ask for. The one real thorn could potentially be blank on the spawn sniper, but surely they're going to be aware. Like, these are all Prem winners. They're going to know.
Yeah, they do seem to be aware. You can see Auto is playing nice and safe, not peeking the sightline whatsoever. Now he is. He's heard the sniper shot now though, so yeah, playing out of the sightline. There's stickies on the door, two gamers looking at it. Auto not wanting to take any chances. He's already moved his way through as the sniper's actually gone back BB, and he's now going to be on heavy on last.
This is just looking better and better. Once again, Bullies, fantastic at like converting one advantage into another. They still have 50% ad, and they've capped up second, so they're just going straight into last. They go all the way through low, using nice and late. Fancy's gone down. This is so good for them. Once again, Arcades is not close enough for his Uber to actually even matter at all, and they're just going to annihilate them towards his left-hand side. Like, this is the difference you can see between these teams. When MANDEM gets an advantage, they maybe get like a point and a bit, right? When the backyard Bullies get an advantage, they'll get 3 points, one of them being last. Like, they just don't care.
Yeah, very fast transition. Again, pretty clinical. A last push, completely different from what we saw on the side of MANDEM when they came in. They just didn't get anything at all. Yet again, just a dominated last push. And, you know, what they need, though, here, backyard Bullies, they're 2 rounds up, but at the moment, their mids haven't been great.
Nope, we do see... Oh, Nubby gets annihilated by Lardox. Jesus Christ, but it doesn't matter because the Bullies just go all the way in. They're just the ones going forward, and they're getting every frag as a result. Oh my god. They win the mid, but I mean, you know, at least Nubby got sent to the spawn queue in a pretty hilarious fashion.
Yeah, pretty nice to see. You can see they changed up a little bit. It was similar to, you know, the earlier mid, but this time Nasboy, Gazi, and Auto were just absolutely, you know, in tandem, pushing forward together. He will be being switched between both of them, but Auto, you know, was completely on their tails, completely following them up, and you know, that core kind of 3 gamers was enough to muscle their way through the mid.
Once again, same position for the Bullies. Big old advantage. They're a little bit slower this time. Arcade's already on 60%. Blank on the sniper is going to be on right side spawn, but Uber's getting used nice and early. They're going to be catching all these players. Yeah, moving them forward on left. No real frags this time. Good damage of both soldiers on the side of MANDEM are going to be weak, but with the reset binds, it's not actually going to be all that bad. They do start trying to play the point inside of the Bullies. We do see Nubby doing great damage towards his right-hand side. Does eventually get taken down, though. Now Arcade's on 90%. Yeah, Gazi going down. This is going to be Bullies like, look, we can't commit. They're getting this Uber any second. They have to back all the way. And that is a little bit scary at times, but a good hold from MANDEM.
Yeah, good change up from MANDEM as well. They played a little bit further back, kited the aggression back into the spawn door. They did a lot of rotation on a lot of gamers, but the cap time really wasn't there for the side of backyard Bullies. They didn't take advantage of that space. Now moving into second, Lardox going in for a big bomb onto Nasboy. Will not find too much damage, but he's actually picked up with a nice pipe by Fancy, so that's 3 down. But there is actually a back cap in the works. Nubby, Pain Train as well, I think, manages to sneak in there, and unfortunately, while it did look good briefly, for the side of MANDEM, they're going to end up losing another round.
Yikes. Yeah, the old paint train, the old soldier getting behind. You know, you're so busy trying to think, oh, if we cover this angle and that angle, we're getting forced. Oh, God, the scouts running at us. No, doesn't matter. Yeah, your boy just gets behind them, and then that's... So, 3 rounds up in just 12 short minutes. Backyard Bullies are looking pretty confident, pretty happy this time, and they're looking confident on this mid as well. Both soldiers jumping super deep. They're going to be raining absolute death and destruction. Arcades almost instantly getting annihilated there. Now it's going to be all about, can they keep Auto alive? He's got the package just blank, and he's not going to be enough. Nowhere near. Yeah, I feel like the Backyard Bullies have kind of cracked this mid now. You know, a little bit slow to wake up today, but now they're just like all cylinders firing.
Yeah, I think it's a change up also from what we saw yesterday, where both those soldiers were both high in the sky doing the same kind of bomb, landing at the same time, and with Ghazi following it up, it worked perfectly. And now in last, getting the Uber right, they took so much space without even having to pop before the spawners were already there. They're going to be on the cup, second cup comes in. Oh, Sil wins a fight on the point as well, and that's enough for them to get a 4th round.
Jesus Christ. The entire combo of the Backyard Bullies were on the last point before they'd even capped mid. Like, they were just living there. That is like such a reverse park the bus. You just sit on their last and don't let them play the game. Jesus Christ. Alright. 5th mid. Potentially final. Unless we see some big change up from MANDEM. But, you know, I'm optimistic. Soldiers once again on the side of the Bullies getting really aggressive. Arcades first frag of the mid. We do see Auto playing this left-hand side, same as last time, but Lardok's getting that all-important rocket and nicely positioned as well. Now, though, 3 versus 2. Blank and BB trying to combine together, but no one's particularly healthy. They go in slightly discoordinated, and they cannot win this 1v3. Surely no way in hell. Yep. Again, mid in the hands of the Bullies, and Arcady spawning solo isn't even going to be building right now. Nasboy getting aggressive. He wants to put up some 4 traps right now.
Well, yeah, you can see, as you say, Backyard Bullies seem to work out the mid. That time it was actually the side of MANDEM who changed it up quite a lot. They wanted to match the aggression that Backyard Bullies showed, but somehow, despite, you know, both those soldiers going super, super high in the air, they tried to kite it forward on the side of Arcades, but he wasn't even able to escape. Nobody somehow managed to land on top of him and frag him out. So, yeah, they ended up stuck on the last. A nice little headshot by BB. Did pick up Nasboy there, but at the moment, I don't think it's going to be enough for them to move out to second yet.
No, definitely. I mean, it definitely doesn't allow them to walk out on the side of MANDEM, but it does delay this push a little bit, so it was a big old advantage. Now it is actually dwindling a little bit for Auto, as they did have to wait for Nasboy. It's only actually about 20%. By the time they get into lobby, really, Hades is going to be getting his Uber if they do try and walk in, so I do feel like the Bullies may have to just take a second, maybe go for some potential sacks, but they are peaking pretty aggressively. I guess maybe for the second they're just trying to get as much info as possible before sending a soldier in. There is a gun, a classic little spot in the middle. Arcady's playing towards it as well, and there is a sniper in the form of BB as well, so they've spotted all of these players. Oh, they're actually taking an Uber in all the way through low. A gun just about going down. They do force the Uber, but it is much, much worse than Auto does actually just about manage to get out through low, and the chase is not on for MANDEM. Maybe the Bullies just go for a repush right now. All the way towards this right-hand side, they're seemingly taking a lot of position. They're not looking to commit just yet. Ooh.
Oh, Nobby gets domed as well. I mean, Ron did find a nice little angle onto Auto, but wasn't able to frag him out. Salenta's going low as well, but he will escape, probably get arrowed up by Auto and survive as well. So just a game down a piece. It's giving Ghazi space to try and walk in, but, you know, there's a gun, there's 2 soldiers ready to come back and fight him. So, yeah, that looked like a bit of a desperate sack, maybe with some kind of off-class.
Oh, whoa, what's Nasboy doing? That is a very late little feed. That actually makes things a little bit annoying now on the side of Backyard Bullies. Only having soldiers to deny all the space isn't ideal. We do see both soldiers jumping in straight into Auto, but Auto's got the moves. He does force, but does guarantee those 2 frags. Arcade is now 96%. They're going to be both these spam classes down for a real long time. Nubby gets the gun, which makes it a little bit easier for them to try and walk in. Uber will have to be used now. Morexi does go down. They're trying to combine towards any other players, but this is just like the absolute delta split for Backyard Bullies. Oh, and blank feeding towards lobby is really not what you want. This is such a nice position for the Bullies.
Yeah, they chased so far forward there. They were always going to get caught out by those spam classes in lobby. 2 gamers down as well, but a chase was never really on. And Backyard Bullies just played it so nicely. They kited it back so early as soon as they got the force. Auto was under no threat whatsoever. They do have a little bit of an ad here, but it is going to have to push on the dot and probably get arcades in the Uber as well.
Yeah, he is playing above the point, so maybe we can see a fatty jump in, 97%. We do see them going all the way towards left-hand side. That's boy tries to get the big jumps in, does just rebomb. A lot of damage towards this heavy. We do see players moving all the way towards point, 90% now on arcade. These 2 frags have gone down, no sticky towards point as well. Gazzy's already playing it. They're doing so much damage, and Arcades isn't connected. He's 97%, but it's not enough.
Unfortunate there. It's always risky with a med. If you play forward, you're risking not getting that Uber in time and getting fragged. If you play back, you're risking, being disconnected by the players who have to block. And wasn't able to quite nail it. Wasn't able to quite get the Uber in time, and they end up losing the round off the back of it. But it was 4-0. It does mean it was a long way back in the game. They're just going to have to move on to the next map and hopefully do a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit rough, but I mean, we did see some real signs of life from MANDEM. Definitely the first 2 mids, they were looking pretty good, but I guess that's perhaps the sign of the pedigree from Backyard Bullies, where, they only had a couple mids where they were looking bad, and then they started making these big adjustments and found much more success. So, and I mean, we'll shout out that at least the most screen-worthy play was made by Lardox, who was a MANDEM player. So, that's always positives, If you when you get your first season Prem, you got to make a good frag video.
Yeah, for sure. And we take nothing away from Backyard Bullies. They were very strong aside from those couple of mids, as you say. I think it looks like maybe they did some demo reviews of last night's game, or maybe they just talked some things through, changed a few things up in their warm up. But they've certainly changed a few things up from yesterday that weren't working. Got a few new ideas. We saw that trade coming in from under on last that seemed to work out for them. A lot more kind of in sync soldier aggression on the mids as well, particularly the last couple of mids. So maybe losing yesterday has kind of spurred Backyard Bullies into action, and it was one of those losses where it wasn't like a demoralizing heavy defeat. It was a loss where they probably felt they could have won the game. So now they've come in and they just look a different beast.
Yeah, see, it's all about the confidence in TF2 as well. If you play with confidence, it makes a big difference. I always make the reference to like Golden Era Fnatic in CS. They always, like, when those guys were in the server, they played in such a way so that all 10 players in the server knew that they were going to win. And I feel like that's, there's a lot to be said for that in TF2, and definitely, with these uber advantage pushes like this getting straight onto last on the side of Backyard Bullies, they were playing with that confidence. We'll see, how this does translate into Granary, though. I do see most of these players are in the server and hopefully should be getting ready to go. I really want to give more credit to MANDEM and kind of be like, maybe they'll work things out, but I don't know. I'm going to be very surprised if this is anything other than another big win for Backyard Bullies.
Yeah, and with them readying up pretty quickly, so it looks like both teams want to get the game going. Maybe that shows you what kind of frame of mind both teams are in. Very much Backyard Bullies in the mindset that they're in the ascendancy they can win here. Whereas MANDEM, perhaps want the pain to be over, but either way, they're ready to get going here.
Yep, here we go. Map 2. First map going firmly to the Bullies themselves. Second map. Ooh, first mate's not looking good. The first frag is their demo. Second is Arcades now. Auto's backing all the way towards Garage. He's got a scout with him, though. He doesn't care. He is happy. With more Alexi with him, he can survive to the end of the earth. Now Lardox all by himself. Tries to jump in solo. And that is one of those just absolute brutal Granary mids. Like, demos, really important. Medics, really important. And when you lose them, like, both immediately, it is just desperate recovery mode. And they were just, I don't know, they weren't coordinated.
Yeah, pretty tough going. You need those glasses, as you say, to be really on point, and certainly on that first mid, punished very, very early. Does mean now Vanguard Bullies have a bit of an. They're trying to buff all their gamers up before they want to move. They're actually taking it nice and slow. Going to pop through this left-hand side onto Moralexi and Nazboy. They don't actually find any gamers really to frag, but they get so much space. They get arcades at the end of that. Ultra's actually going to pick up his minigun. Probably won't come into play. Too many gamers going down. Moralexi on a 6k now. Still some stickies on point, but with Fancy going down, going to be very, very easy conversion here. Very, very quick round.
Yep, they're really not here to mess around. Even losing that player early, it's like Granary is such a big last that when they get in and then they get arcades, they can afford to play just so slowly with the heals. Like, wait for these MANDEM players to like feed into them, and I mean, they didn't even need to wait that long. The damage was already looking good, but just having that little safety net, big stuff. So second mid now. That's what Fancy both opting for the left-hand side rollout towards floor. And no one's be doing anything to it. Now, soldiers, every soldier in the air. Auto's going super weak, and it will be BB getting straight onto him now. You see the counter frag, so no medics alive in this game whatsoever. It's going to be the 2 scouts on the point here on the side of the backyard. Bullies, they're trading once again. Nasboy is alive. This is actually coming into a little 1v1. Ron's still in garage. He's weak though, and Gazzy's got the health, and he's the scout class. I don't even think Ron's is going to bother with this one.
Yeah, Ron's backed out, got a health back. No, I don't think he's going to go in contest. I think there's already spawners up on mid.
I think that would be a little bit just hardcore feed at that point. I don't know. That would be optimism to like the nth degree, but they are peeking a little bit towards choke. Like you see Fancy just walking all the way through. Lardox there as well. Arcades does want to try and commit these heals on over, because just only now is Auto getting through his choke point, so we can't have a second mid fight. Fort spawns are going to be firmly in the hands of backyard Bullies, and the frag's looking good right now as well. Silenta's on this fight with Blank, and Blank just not quite hitting those shots.
He actually kills himself with the sword, going in for the melee kill.
That's tragic. That's actually tragic. And now they're just 3 players down, and the Bullies are like, let's just keep on going.
Yeah, they want to continue. Arcade's not quite up at Uber. Again, his Uber building hasn't been as on point as Auto's. But they are trying to fight second. Second cap has already come in, but they do lose Nazboy for it, so no solo Nazboy. I don't think it seems to matter. Moralexi on the chase picks up the frag onto Rons as well. They want to continue here. The Uber is coming out, but
Nobby
there is a back cap.
To last? Wait, sorry, there's an Uber trade on point, and Nobby just jumps to last with the pain train. No one follows him. It's fine. Ignore him. What could he possibly do?
They just fed way too many gamers there. There wasn't the right idea, perhaps, to try and trade into second, but there was always going to be that backup threat, and Nubby's a master of it. He already did it earlier in the day, so perhaps should have been a little bit more aware of that possibility, but as it is, we're at 2-0.
Alright, this is now the little bit of like the Copium mid for the side of MANDEM. It's the right side. Let's jump in, let's get aggressive, and they're getting some frags. Not enough though, both medics already gone down. This is such a quick one. Good God, these scouts on the side of backyard Bullies are just nuking. They are just hardcore nuking. Mid, once again, in the hands. Second, and be looking good as well. Arcades, early death, early spawner by himself, doesn't even matter. It's going to be, at worst, equal here for Auto.
Yeah, it was impressive. Both of those soldiers there for the side of backyard Bullies, they got in and they got out early enough and were able to take the high ground at the tail end of that fight, and that was the real difference. Both the medics obviously going down pretty early. It's going to give Arcade's only a very, very slight advantage, not pushable. But backyard Bullies want to keep making it happen. They've picked up a frag onto Blank. They've got gamers in through the left. Gazzy's in a spot now to perhaps get some kind of flanking, but everyone who's sold out on second has been fragged by just this continued aggression by backyard Bullies. They're already in, already caps on, and last only Fancy there to deny. And they are living up to their name, just bullying these MANDEM gamers and just giving them absolutely no position at all.
That's the skill diff right there. Like, you literally saw Celentes just get 300 and walk over point. Nobby jumped in as well. Like, that, like, they don't need Uber. They don't need, like, any kind of advantage. They made the advantage by just fat waddling and killing things. That is pretty bad right now. All right, 3 rounds already in just 6 minutes. This is looking to be a bit of a corker. I've even seen a ball hit Blank in the face. He's getting bombed as well. The position is just all looking good. Auto will be dying. At least Ron does get 2. He's getting those frags on the board. Arcades has managed to live, but the flag's all the way behind them. Nubby straight there. All good for him. Nasboy, he's getting sent to the skybox. Hitting the stickies though. And now it's just Fancy Elf. I'm not too sure what he could do. Maybe he goes for the double frag on mid, but more like he's already trying to find him. Yep. And he lasts like half a second. Jesus.
Unfortunate. And going to be another mid win here for Backyard Bullies. They're just going to... Yeah, they're not going to have... Actually going to have quite a bit of ads here. With, I guess, also going down quite a bit quicker than Arcades. Quite a bit earlier. So, it's going to be difficult. MANDEM, they trying to get some position in towards second. They're actually giving up yard almost completely. I don't know if they just, don't fancy themselves or perhaps just aware of the Uber advantage they have, but they've given up a lot of space here. Now it's kind of awkward. They need to get their Uber up for last at least if they are going to give up this second point here.
Oh, Uber's getting used. The Bullies are in. 90% now on Arcades. He's trying to back all the way with the rest of his team. No big bomb coming in though. Basically more or less by himself. So there's a little bit of a delay for MANDEM. Actually does open them up some opportunities. I think Lardox doesn't matter too much. They do concede second cap. Ghazi is looking to possibly hide and go last, and Blank's already gone down. Yep, Ghazi's going all the way, taking himself a little 1v1, gets some great damage as well. It's actually forcing the entirety of the combo all the way back on MANDEM. So now they're getting delayed and delayed and delayed. It's only now still a 40% advantage. Fancy Elf, he really wants to go forward. He's like, guys, let's just get in. Let's just use this Uber. Souls are getting traded now. They're trying to combine towards these frags. Nasboy does just overextend a little bit too much. Will go down. But then Celentes is just walking in once again. Just absolutely pumping out damage. And they're so close to their own Uber as well. Good God. Yep, that's going to get used. They're denying the second cap. And now it is absolute beer time. They're getting smashed all the way back. Fancy Elf, he's down. Ron's as well. Lardox on the spawn. He gets just enough time for a Crihil. Bombs these scouts, but guess what? It's 2 scout classes. Not a chance in hell does he block that. That is just, again, the Bullies just kind of tearing them apart, just piece by piece.
Yeah, and I think it was just a little bit overeager there for MANDEM, particularly BB. They had not the worst Uber on to second in the world. They picked up Nasboy. They could have just reset and pushed off that demo pick before the Uber came into play for Backyard Bullies, but BB just overextended a little bit. Ended up taking a fight in a choke point against Sil, and that was never going to work out for him.
Well, here we go. Once again, 5th mid, 9 minutes into this game. Playing towards the high ground this time. The combo of MANDEM. Nice little moves from Arcades. He's going to be dodging, but Celentes, he's got the directs. He's looking good. Now they're trying to get the counter frags. Good rockets from Lardox. Very good rockets. Good God. They nuked them in that quarter. Now it's just on Ghazi. Fancy Elf's not really in the fight, though. So it's kind of a little 1v1. If Ghazi could win this early, which he does. Now it's just one scout versus Fancy. Ghazi, importantly, getting this pack so he can survive all the one Piper. Ooh. Oh, that's the old sticky pipe right there. Very nice.
Yeah, Fancy feeling that, completely deleting him. It was awkward as well, stuck on the enemy's side for quite a while, having to sticky himself off, but comes in, wins that 1v1 against Ghazi, showing him no respect, and that's a nice little confidence booster.
It is. Now it's actually like Bullies just trying to hard commit through this choke, and actually really, I don't know, going for a push, which I don't think makes a great deal of sense at all. They lose Nasboy because he goes for the hard commit jump, which is way more than he needed to go for. So now they have no demo trying to hold here. Uber's, slightly in the favor of the Bullies. If they can get their Uber towards point, at worst they can take a trade and get Nasboy up. If MANDEM do push fast, but MANDEM are not pushing fast at all. Yeah, Ubers are just going to equalize, and now Celentes securing just a very easy frag towards point. And the fact is getting annihilated. The MANDEM combo is kind of baiting their team. Going to be real.
Yeah, they went quickly through the lunchbox area, then they stalled for an absolute age. The demo man Was it even the demo man? Whoever was holding shutter got picked up by the gamers just running across the point. They just ran 6 gamers through. They're now stuck in a really awkward position. Fancy Elf in behind, trying to back cap on demo man class, but is going to lose to the buffed Nazboy. The rest of the combo now stuck in the worst position possible in their enemy's shutter. BB's not going to be able to take Arcades out of there. He'll go down, and both of the scouts are now on his tail. Going to take him out, so a complete collapse there from the side of MANDEM from what was, you know, not the worst position in the world, but just every mistake they're making is getting punished right now.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a combination of the punish and maybe just MANDEM not being quite sure how to play that situation. They didn't seem to really know what they wanted to do. I mean, their move for the moment is to try and get in while they have this heal advantage. Arcades did spawn much, much closer. They do not manage to deny the spawn. Oh my god, Nazboy's just done so much damage towards all of this high ground. Auto, once again, is going to get cleaned up here by Rons. But that's not too bad. They've already conceded the middle point for a second, so it's not actually the end of the world for MANDEM to back up and play this heal advantage and this all-important Uber advantage as well. They can take a second, you know. I mean, they're 4 rounds down, but there's 18 minutes left to go. Like, they're not forced into going for every little play yet. I think it's definitely a very wise decision just to chill out a moment.
Yeah, good play. Like, Ron's just delaying his bomb a little bit, making sure it's, you know, as I think it was 4 players just walking through the garage area, he lands on top of them, cleans up the mix. And now they do have Uber advantage here to push. They've lost 2 instantly, and I think that was that a drop by Arcades as well.
I'm pretty sure that's Celentes on the old classic on the lamp jump. Just, I don't know, gives him no chance at all. Now they've lost basically everyone. BB's like, I'm going to try on the flank. Gets that one towards Nubby, but the backup's not really going to be fast enough, and Celentes is at least watching him. Yeah, BB's just going for basically nothing. I don't think they even need Nubby on the side of Backyard Bullies as well. Celentes being delayed is, I mean, slightly significant, but at the same time, they wouldn't be pushing anyway, because Auto's just only now getting the 90%.
Yeah, they do have nice healthy Uber advantages still. Oh, BB's kept a couple of gamers back. Yeah.
There we go. That is insult to injury. Now they're a player down. They have Uber disad. They have every kind of disad right now they could possibly ask for. And Nazboy's just going to be walking on in. All the way towards this right-hand side. Heavy's going to get nuked. Arcades, he's getting nuked. Soldiers are landing, doing some good damage. But it's ultimately the Bullies getting frag after frag right now. Just need to take a little second to heal up. Nubby going down to those pipes actually makes this a little bit tricky. It's 3v3. But with Auto being alive, that's 1 less frag in class. Gazzy seems to want to try and do this. The damage on drones is significant. Not quite able to get that last little bit. And Nazboy's actually getting caught a little bit to the right. BB tries to get this frag, but somehow Auto keeps him alive. That's a failed last push, but it is an ad again if they want to go for it.
Yeah, interesting there to see how aggressive MANDEM wanted to play. I guess just off the fact they had an extra fragging class in that fight, but you know, they could have perhaps just chilled and waited for spawners. So the aggression that they were playing with was certainly interesting. Probably worried about this situation which has now happened, where with them not being able to frag Auto, it's meant he's been able to escape, able to recycle the Uber, and they are going to get a second chance at the advantage push.
Yep, once again, Uber's going to be used in. This time, Nazboy going for a little bit more of a jump, combining towards his Heavy, who is on the high pipe. But be lasting too long, but actually, Fancy and Lardox, oh my god, they're getting frags. They're doing fantastic damage. Nubby not even getting out with his heals. He's going to try and jump in to try and do something, but yeah. He just gets nuked by Rons. Oh my god. And Auto as well is surely going to die late blank just about getting that frag before losing his own life there. So this is all good. This is all good. Uber advantage, player advantage. Now, okay. Check all the hiding spots, boys. This is MANDEM gonna have to play just like, you know, perfect transitional TF2. They check the high ground. Yep, Celentes this time not gonna be able to go for this bomb. Stickies have been removed. Gazzy is on the back lines. He's gonna draw players back. Combo's gonna try and stay forward.
Yeah, we're now seeing. Oh, it's going to be Nubby trying to make a play behind. Gazzy's already in behind, getting at the moment shut out by Lardox. Nubby's going to get caught as well. Still no cap time in mid. The combat actually got forced on mid in an awkward position. They picked up Moalexi though, so it's not the worst in the world. Might get that spoil swap. It's a really good 180 pipe onto the scout blank, I think that was. He's going to run out of there as well, escape somehow. Auto's been able to keep his life in his hands as well, so while the mid-cap will probably come in, although it won't even come in, the block is in from Silenta's Nubby on the chase as well. And Auto coming up close to Uber as well. They still haven't capped mid, so suddenly Backyard Bullies escape from what should have been a wipe really on their side.
Yeah, they're looking happy. It's a definitely like fantastic little position as Silentes took, getting that early bomb towards point, denying that mid cap, because they're just going to keep continuing to get forward spawns, and that would have delayed them massively having to deal with that now. Uber's all the way towards top, they're going straight through as well. First frag in their hands, it does get traded out. Arcade is now 90%, the back cap is on though, and the Bullies, they can't stop it, they can't even out cap on second, they're going to be forced all the way back. This is lovely little play for BB. Taking that entire combo back. Now it's going to be a little bit harder. Oh, and he gets auto?
Wow. I mean, that's sloppy from Backyard Bullies. Their medic is... They're running so many players back, the medic should be a lot closer to the rest of the team. Should be aware of the possibility of the scout coming down from the high ground as well. But, you know, BB just turning the game on its head suddenly. You know, good awareness of, you know, how much cap time was in second, that he was able to get that back cap in, and then fragging auto as well. And suddenly Arcades is 100%, and, you know, starting to look a little bit up. It's a long way for a comeback, but if it's going to happen, it's all down to BB's play.
Yeah, it is definitely huge. Yeah, Uber does get used. Nas boy over saying his welcome. Goodbye. He sends the spawn queue. Well, actually, and Nubby both dying there as well. That is a well worth Uber, especially considering Auto's still going to be a decent chunk away from his own. If they play this right, they should be able to get mid and really start pushing towards second as well. They do deny that one forward spawn. They've got to be pretty fast towards yard. Not really looking like they're going to be super keen on doing it. Maybe not quite 100% aware of the Uber situation, so they'll get yard, but won't really have an opportunity to poke too much towards second, because Auto... He's already got his Uber. They're happy to go. You see Arcade is playing all the way back towards his choke. He is just in no way looking to get bombed here by Natboy. And he's just backing all the way to second. They walk through. They don't even get the force. But delaying them will buy them just enough time to get their Uber. 93% now on Arcades. They're not playing close. They don't feel confident to do this just yet. Silentes gets some great damage towards these scouts, but they will go down. These players getting traded out every which way. Blank getting another frag. This does. Surely. I'm just looking at Nubby right now. Surely Nubby's going to die. He has no business being here. Yeah. What's he doing?
I don't know. He was hitting so many rockets. I think he just wanted to stay in a little bit too long and ended up just getting swallowed up by a load of MANDEM gamers coming in. It's opened up an opportunity now, but Blank jumps in before the Uber can come in, does get fragged out by Sil, and it's actually a pretty good trade here for the side of Backyard Bullies. Also wanted to try and keep Fancy stuck in, but that's not going to happen. Sil actually going down as well, so they're actually probably going to have to back up here. A nice little scout frag they got earlier on, but at the moment they're probably not going to want to continue to go on the aggressive here. Backyard Bullies is going to have to recycle. Lardox getting a little bit of cap time down, a little bit of spam as well. The other soldier Ron's making a ton of space, but taking a ton of damage as well. Nazboy spamming towards the shutter area, but not too many targets for him to look at the moment. We're just going to settle down a little bit with the Ubers a lot more even than before.
Yep, we're starting to get to that point in the game where we're seeing a more active presence from MANDEM, which is definitely, you know, solid, but there's now 10 minutes left in the game. They are 4 rounds down. They're kind of playing on a knife's edge, you know. Any little mistakes could basically be the end of the game, and if they do want to start trying to do a comeback, they kind of got to start getting a bit of a move on. Ubers are equal. Entire combo, well, almost the entirety of MANDEM are moving towards this lunchbox position, but Silentes is already directly behind them. BB's just got annihilated. Nubby as well. Does take a lot of damage. Silentes getting the stick frag. Ron's gone down as well. Uber's got traded, but at what cost? Basically, all these MANDEM players are just getting rolled.
Yeah, again, we're seeing Backyard Bullies just playing as a blob focus in the same target, whereas a couple of players, Fancy I've had to play back, ended up being, you know, completely out of that fight. Kept himself alive, but all the rest of his team has gone down while that has happened. So at the moment, MANDEM, they certainly have some kind of idea that they want to make a trade happen. in that upper area, but at the moment, Backyard Bullies just have the answers.
Ooh. Oh, the damage there from Nasboy completely locks out Fancy up. Almost unfortunate not to get another frag there as well. But really, I don't know, getting a demo in this situation, massively, massively important. The second is such a big position to try and get spam damage, and just losing a spam pass is going to make it so much harder. They do, like, I got to point out the building on the side of Backyard Bullies. I swear Ubers were pretty equal at the end of that situation. Now they've got themselves like a 40% ad. They're going all the way through left-hand side. Mord actually does get dropped. Nice stickies there from Fancy. Does actually deny almost the entirety of this push as well. This is good position. They don't quite have their own Uber. I think this is just a second where they need to just take a breather. Surely.
Oh, they do lose Rons, but it's not too bad. They do get the force out of auto. It's going to be a potential for Arcades to pop back in. They're actually going, straight back in. Lardox doesn't have ammo. He's throwing, just throwing the Minecraft pick around. Can't find anyone to frag. Sil is going to go down on the flank. They got 3 picks here, so not the worst situation in the world. But the second cap actually ended up being blocked, so we're now in this awkward situation again where a back cap is potentially in play. But I don't think there's anyone really on the side of Backyard Bullies who wants to go for it right now.
Oh. Okay, interesting. Scout kind of walks in. I thought he was going to feed there, but actually Lardox that went down. They really wanted to dry push out the side of Mandem. I'm not lucky that didn't go much worse for them. They're taking so much damage. They're kind of having to concede a yard, though.
Yeah.
It's just walking all the way in. What, little advantage again? They should be aware of this. They're just going to try and walk at them. And yep, Uber's going to get used, going straight over point, 90% on Arcades. He's backed up all the way. He's got a scout, though, and yep, you can see Backyard Bullies like, okay, we're not going to be able to commit all the way forward. Absolutely fine. Let's try and focus on this cap, which they do just about get. Uber, It gets used, but he drops blank. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, they get 1 frag, but it's really not going to be enough. And Gazzy's on the flank. He's behind, gets 2 frags. But the arrow from Arcades is going to save them. It keeps them in this game right now. Nobby tries to go all the way in. There's so much damage that's been dealt towards his player, and he just caps between 3 of them.
Oh my god. Fancy couldn't have done more. It must have been a prediction pipe to airshot Nubby as he was flying in. Hits him. It wasn't enough. Nubby just lands on his head and then finishes the cap. Pain Train again coming in clutch, but yeah, there we are. Backyard Bullies ended up taking it. 2 clean maps, 5-0-5-0. And yeah, they look a lot stronger than yesterday.
Yeah, definitely shows the difference in caliber of these teams. You know, no BM to Mandem again. You know, they had some good looking moments, but definitely clear that they don't have that quite the same experience in, you know, kind of individual and kind of team skill. Definitely a significant disparity there, but yeah, was always going to be a hard game for them. So hopefully they'll be able to find some positive takeaways after that, and you know, at least it did last a little bit longer than the first map.
Just about, yeah. I mean, you know, as you say, a couple of encouraging moments, but I think the big takeaway is, you know, there is a big difference between the 2 teams in kind of certainly experience and probably skill as well. So, you know, there's not too much to read into it from either side. I just think, certainly for the side of Backyard Bullies, they'll be, you know, happy to have got yesterday's disappointment out of the way, now back in form, and yeah, looks like they've corrected a couple of things, and you know, will be serious title contenders, I imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely think that Bullies definitely going to be right at the top towards the end of the season, potentially even being towards the old grand finals. But there you go. I mean, you know, there's some vague logs to look at, but you know, whenever it's a 5-0, the numbers can only tell you so much of the story. It's more about those individual moments and, you know, the that skill disparity that we talked about there. So might just be a quick little TFTV game for us tonight. We'll show numbers on the screen for just a second. Is there anything else you would particularly like to bring up, though, Dave?
Not really. Just having a quick peruse of the logs. Seems Nubby didn't have the best stats, but the rest of his team was fragging, so you know. You know, it's like classic Roma life when your team's kind of winning and you're like, what if I go for like the kooky plays, you know?
What if I just jump in and see what happens? It's fine. I've got like 2 nutty scouts. They'll own everything anyway, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty much the story of the game.
Yeah, always feels a little bit harsh. Okay then. Well then, if there's nothing else you want to bring up, what I might say is we can wrap things up here and possibly send people in the direction of Dum's channel, where I believe they're doing some Div 1 coverage with some Yeehaw casting, which I'm sure everyone's going to be very, very keen to watch a little bit of. So always good to get some more casting talent involved, especially a player with such experience as him. Do you want to do any quick shout outs just before we go?
Shy Sensation. That's about it.
Shout out the team, shout out the viewers, shout out obviously yourself, Dave, shout out Onkai, shout out to your boy Jamie, who said hi to me at the beginning of this. Cool. There's going to be more TFTV action coming up at some point soon. Check it all out on TFTV. Everything's going to be on there. And until then, we'll catch you next time.
Oh, let me I want to feel your love.